How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make animated backgrounds for like your desktop and such, because I've been trying to do it recently and I've been having a lot of trouble trying to figure out how. Even though there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube, I'm going to try to make this the most straightforward one. That way it makes it as simple as possible. Use this video. Done. You're going to need to use at least a few different softwares here. You're going to need an image manipulation program, whether it be GIMP or Photoshop, and you're going to need After Effects and lively wallpapers. I'll have all but Photoshop linked in the description. So we're going to have to start by thinking of something you want to do. What kind of background do you want? Because you're going to have to download the image, put it in Photoshop, and we'll go from there. So let's do that right now. So I found the image I want. I'm going to save the image somewhere where I can access it easily. I'm just going to open it through here. Makes things a lot easier. So there it is. And I'm going to find my background. This is going to be your foreground image. So this is going to be the image in the front, whatever that may be. Go ahead and find a background image. Okay, now I've got my image loaded in Photoshop. Now I'm going to outline. I'm going to cut out Palkia, essentially. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lasso tool, outline it, and copy this image onto here. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect because of what we're going to do later in After Effects. So at this point, you should have your entire outline. Now you Control-C, Control-V. Now, as you can see, you have your image. This is the point where you can scale it up if you need to, things of that nature. Instead of using their scale-up tool, like to use the transformation tool, which is Control-T. And it allows us a better rescale, and I think that looks good. So now we're going to export that. You can export it as pretty much whatever you want, so long as After Effects can read what it is. You can go to After Effects, and you select File, Open Project. Where it says here, after Adobe After Effects Project, select all file formats to find the one you're looking for. And mine is right here. Select Open. I'm no Lightworks pro, but this is how I've been doing everything. I go to Learn to find the image, and then I select it, drag it, and drop it here. Now, we have to start this by going down here and selecting Control-D. Now, we can get started on the next step, which is one of the last ones, essentially, which is the outline once again. And this is why I said you don't really have to be too accurate when it comes to your outline. First, you have to mask it. So that's why I had you hit Control-D, because that's one of the easiest ways to do it like this. Otherwise, you're just going to have an outline that's glowing, and you're not going to have like the space image or any of that, if that's your background. So I'm going to hit Control-D again, because I'm going to be doing another mask layer on the eye. So I'm going to go to the first one. You can select this one up here. There's a hotkey, which is G, and you can use Alt to zoom in, just do a simple outline. Is all you need to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I've run into something that I've seen a lot of times, which is where you hit Control-Z to undo something, and it does this, where it starts a whole new mask on its own. While in this case, that wouldn't be a problem. Here's how you fix it. Control-Z to get rid of it, and you have to have your tool selected, and then you select the end of your other mask. I am still fairly new to After Effects, and it took me quite a while to figure that one out because I didn't know how After Effects worked. So that's just a cool little tidbit, just in case you get stuck on that, because I know when I first had that problem, it took me quite a bit to try to figure out why it did that. So now that you've finished your outline here, you go to Effect, Saber, which mine's right here, but yours will probably be down here in Video Copilot. You select Saber. As you can see, Saber effect is now on. So first things first, before you get into the color or the design, select Customize Core. Where it says Saber, select the drop-down menu and click Layer Masks. Now it outlines the entire thing. I personally like to see what I'm doing in comparison to the rest of the image. So right click, not the actual bar itself, right click the name of your file, select blending mode, select screen. So now you can see what's going on here. For the sake of this video, I'm going to try to match the aesthetic of what's going on here color-wise. As you can see, there's a lot of like presets, I guess they are, like simple orange, fire, and you can change their colors as well. Looks kind of cool. Now some of them have a wider range than others, like a wider style, in which you can fix that here. Don't worry if your image begins to go blurry. That's something that happens quite often. Why? I don't know, it just does. So if I wanted a slight glow, I could do that. If I wanted another one, I can just select Effect, Saber, and then I can do it again. So I go to Saber, Layer Masks. So now I can have a mixture between purple and blue. Let's go down here and select Kryptonite. Select OK. So now that's there. And if you want another mask, you go to another layer, because you're editing the layer, which is why I said to hit Control D, because it splits the layer. In this case, it duplicates it, not really splits it. But I have 3 tracks here, essentially. So now I can go in, hit G, and find another thing I want to outline, like his eye here. I want Puppy's eye to be bright orange. Let's just bright orange. Effect, Saber, once again, Customize Core, Saber, Layer Masks. So I want it to be bright orange. Let's go Fire. Okay, maybe not Fire. Let's go Firestorm. It's a little better. Glow intensity is a bit much. Tone that down a bit. Glow spread. That looks good. So now we select blending mode, screen. So when we zoom back out, hit this if you don't want to see the layer outline, so you can see what it actually looks like. You go down here. That's the image we're left with. It's pretty sick. At least this one is. Some of them can look better. Some of them can look worse. It all really depends on what images you choose and what you really want to do in terms of an animated background, because you can add multiple layers, multiple images. So all of these outlines here are all animated at one time. So now we have to render it. Go to File, Export, Add to Render Queue, select Render. Now these take a while, depending on your computer specs. And I would like to mention that it does use a lot of CPU usage in the background. I have a 12-core processor that typically sits at idle between 9 and 17% usage just in idle. And this uses 100% when it's animated on my computer background. However, you can fix that in a few ways, and I'll be going over those later. I'll select render and wait. Okay, so once you're done that, you're going to want to open up Lively Wallpaper. So this is my background now. Just to prove that what I'm doing does indeed work. This is my background that I made the other day. So you select Add Wallpaper, and you browse for your files, which the one we made is here. So you select Open, and it's right there. Description. Let's just put basic test. Author, spam, whatever. Okay. Now you can see this bar is loading here. You can see, here we go. Yes. So you can see that I have my original one, which is here. So I have two different displays, and you can use this to put a different background on each display, which is one of the benefits of it, because typically you can't do that with basic Windows as far as I know. So you can select, I want screen 2, and this one is now on my second screen. I know you can't see that though. And if I select this, I select set as wallpaper, make sure it's set to the right screen. Okay, and right there. Now I have it set up so only when it's in focus will it be animated. Now that, I don't know about y'all, looks actually kind of sick. Do what you will with this software and this knowledge, but keep in mind that it can be done to better degrees with different images, things of that nature. And remember, your CPU usage varies heavily. For an instance, Task Manager, CPU usage is sitting at 100%. Now if I open up Lively and the wallpapers are paused, see it drops for a second here. So if I right click this and select pause wallpapers, you can see my CPU usage drops to 11%. Actually insane. Because if I drag this over here, you can see that I have a i5-10400F, 6 cores, 12 logical processors, aka threads. It's not exactly the easiest program to run, but it can definitely be done, that's for sure. And if you want to play it again, because you can, just select this and uncheck that, and it starts right up again. Keep in mind that if you want to reduce your system usage, you can open up Lively Wallpapers, select your settings menu, and you can go to Performance. So you can get this out of the way. So you can change your application's full screen when they're focused, things of that nature. So it'll pause it and reduce that system usage for running a video at all times in the background, and it'll pause when it's not focused. It'll play when it's not focused. Just depends on how you have it set up. If you go to the wallpaper, you can see I put it on 144. That way it tries to use as minimal system usage as possible. You can use MPV, VLC, all the way up to 1080p plus, which I'm assuming is probably the equivalent of 1440p. You can use a web browser, which honestly might reduce a lot of system input, or a lot of system lag, sorry. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Other than that, like I said, it just comes down to whether your system can run it. And if you have it set up the same way as me, the animation should not play when it's in the background. So if you're focused on a game on your main screen, then neither of your two screens, assuming you have more than one, will play the animation because something else is in focus. There's that. And yeah, that's it. This looks sick. But do with this information what you want. And thanks for watching the video.